Kuti Sichas Gimel. You're going to put it up. Shalom Avro. Good to see your face. Wow. Good. Wonderful, wonderful. See, Hashem does good things. And soon every Jew is going to do what you did. Every Jew, there'll be the building of the Beis HaMikdash. And then if you already feel the Beis HaMikdash already, but there's Jews, the only thing that's going to bring them here is when the Beis HaMikdash comes miraculously from heaven. I don't know how it's going to happen. Then everybody's going to be happy. Everyone will be happy. They'll all feel the Creator.
Amen, amen.
But meanwhile, we're learning Torah that says Tzion b'mishpat.
Is this it that I put up on the screen?
This is it.
Okay, you can control it.
No, one second.
You
No,
have control.
sorry. Daled. It's Daled. Can you find Daled instead? You're right. We started off with.
This is all I have.
All you have is base?
Yeah.
It has to be Daled. It has to be there. Those four were those four books, Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Daled.
Yeah, no, that's what Chaim sent out. That's all I've got. Maybe he's got it.
He's right to send that out, but that's what we started learning. If not, we'll continue learning that. No problem. If we can't find anything else, then we'll learn that. That's also very good.
How's that?
There it is. Yes.
Okay, you've got remote control.
1 second. No. This is the same thing that you just put up before. This is base. So we'll do base. We'll do base. What you put up before was in Hebrew? No.
I'm not sure. Anyway, you have control of it.
Okay,
you want
good.
This one or the other one?
Okay, good. The other one we learned, and we'll try to continue that tomorrow. I'll try to find it, Daled. We're skipping back and forth, but that's all right. Okay, yesterday's we learned about the argument between Korach and Moshe, and that Korach's argument was that if you say that the commandments are the main thing, and that we shouldn't sit in the desert and learn Torah like the spies wanted to do, so therefore, Moshe, we're asking you to step down. Because if Torah is the main thing, like the spies say, then you're the king. You're the greatest in the Torah. But you just finished saying that mitzvahs are the main thing. If so, in mitzvahs, we're all equal. And that was the argument between Korach and Moshe. That's what we learned yesterday, but we don't have the book up here. So let's go back. I said that so we won't forget what we learned yesterday. If we don't find it, then I'll tell what the answer is. But now we're going back to the Sicha that we started, a different Sicha. And here it says that the argument between Moshe and Korach had a different sort of a facet to it. It was the same thing, but here it stressed another facet of the argument. That Aaron was a Kohen, and the Kohen, they received the first fruits and the best of everything. And Korach didn't like this idea. How does this come down to us? How is this relevant to us? All the Jewish people are called Maleches Kohanim. All the Jewish people are a nation of priests. And the priests are supposed to give the first fruits. You give the first fruits to the priests. That's what it's supposed to be. Well, every Jew is a priest. And we are also supposed to be giving also from ourselves the first things you have to give to Hashem. The first and the best. So it says the first thing when a person wakes up in the morning, and the best that a person has, he's supposed to devote to Hashem. For instance, giving charity. Giving charity, you're supposed to give charity. You're supposed to give your best for charity. Don't give second, number two. Let's see this. Here we go. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So let's take it from here. Here we go. We'll take it from here. Therefore, because you have to give the first and the best to God, So the Rebbe says also the first and the best of your day, you have to give to God. In schools where they have secular learning and Torah learning, the Torah learning should be the first thing on the day. That's the first thing you should learn. Secular learning should be second. Therefore, is B'shas as Hadzich gehandled when a person is occupied and dealing in the Medina with this country, America, Vegan dem Seder Limudim, when we're talking about the order of learning in the yeshivos, does Hadzich der Rebbe, the Rebbe had seinen stark gestellt. The Rebbe, previous Rebbe, stood very, very firmly as in the first thing in the morning, Zon sein Limud Kodesh Davka. You have to learn holy things. That's why it's important also, before you daven, you should learn a little bit of Torah. And after you finish daven, you should also learn a little bit of Torah. Limudei Chol, and the secular learning, soll sich not halben Tag, should be in the second half of the day. Vila, because in the early in the morning, hat the cup and a rois root, the head is calm. You've already rested. Is the best at sight. This is the best time. Wieder Pesach, like it says in Rambam, like the Rambam says. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. As time goes on, can we get bigger? Maybe. No. All right, can't. That's the ultimate. Okay. Like the Rambam says. Oh, thank you. What happened? What? 1 minute, something. Just 1 minute. Enough, I think. Okay, very good. Yes, okay, good. Like the Rambam says, it's called Chelev Lashem. It says the best must go to God. The fat, it says the best must go to God. Erst by Tag, and then the first thing in the daytime, demolt, the first thing in the day should be for Hashem, learning Torah. Demolt kan zich oisich sein uvivrech Hashem alekecha b'chol asher taseh. And after you learn Torah in the first thing of the day, then Hashem will put a blessing in everything you do in the rest of the day. Und der inyan is nogea oich to bali esek. This is also relevant to working men. As a gam zer esek. Here we talked about children learning in yeshivas. The first thing of the day they should learn, right? Torah. What? I can't read it because it's. Bali esek. As a gam zer esek, even though their work is done in avdim nechol, even though that a person wakes up early in the morning, he has to go to his job, right? As darfen zeh vesim, but you have to know, as their ikar is Torah, that the main thing is learning Torah, and the main thing is prayer. When the erster bestet Zeit, in the first and the best time of the day, darf man upgiven, you have to give zum eberster to God. The erster zach, the first thing, darf man daven, and the first of all thing in the day, you have to pray. And if it's possible, you should learn a little bit of Chassidus or something to put you in a happy mood and to feel how good God is, how good Hashem is. Then you know who you're praying to. But that should be the first thing. And after davening, darf man learning. After you finish praying, you should sit down and learn something. It's hard. Learn 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Vider din is like the law is, it says that from the base Knesset, from the place of prayer, darf man gain the base of Midrash. You have to go to the place of learning. Dernach erst, and after that, as pas shachris, then after that, you can eat your meal. Where is this? What happened? Next. Good. Neither Tzemach Tzedek Paskin, like the Tzemach Tzedek says, is Pas Shachris, that your morning meal is Achrei Tefillah, has to be after you pray. When we base a Knesset, then after that is Doch Der Din as Mendarv Gen L'Bis Midrash. You have to go and learn a little bit of Torah. B'meila kumtoi, so it comes out Pas Shachris Nachan learning that if you eat, it has to be preceded by praying and learning. When Ersh Darnach, and only after that can you work in day-to-day things. So most people will say, come on, I'll wake up in the morning, and it's hard enough just to get to work, on time. So what do you have to do? You have to push yourself. You have to do something to wake up a little bit earlier and to pray before you go to pray you go to work. That's what you have to do. If it's totally impossible, let's say you have to go to work and you have to be on that train before the sun comes up, before Olas HaShachar. So you figure out some other way to do it. Figure out some other way. But as much as possible, it should be that you pray before you go to work. And it should be that after you finish praying, that you learn a little bit of Torah. Is it possible? So if the Rebbe says it's possible, it definitely is possible. And that's the war. We're here in the world for a war. Like I said, that the Rebbe brought back the pride of the Jewish people after the Holocaust. What does it mean, the pride? We thought we lost the battle. The world is too strong. Look at all these pictures of dead bodies all over the place. Right? That's Judaism. And you have all the reform and the conservative saying, forget about being religious. Just, let the world, don't be abnormal. Don't be a weirdo. Shabbos, kosher, tefillin, whatever you want. Now is a new, in other words, the world is the boss. The Rebbe came and said, no, the world is wonderful, but the world is here for us to transform it. And the only way to do that, we have to make war. But the war is won with light. Not, God forbid, to destroy anything. Not to badmouth people and not to knock others down. That's not our job. It's a waste of time. Our job is to make light. Positive. See what's positive and deal with the positive. That's our job. But it's a war. It's a battle. And that battle has to be fought sometimes inside of ourselves. And sometimes it means that you have to wake up earlier in the morning. You have to, maybe you can pray on the subway. If it's possible to pray with tefillin on, I don't know, on the subway, I have to ask a Rav. If not, maybe you can pray on the subway without your tefillin, put on the tefillin later. I don't know. But some way, that should be the first thing on your mind. How can I do it? Maybe you got to change jobs. Maybe you have to change shifts. But that should be the main and most important thing is prayer. A person shouldn't say, I can't do it. It's too much. I need this job. Forget it. If you can't, then maybe you can pray in the middle of the day. No choice. Maybe you're really busy. Who knows?
I've been finding what's really interesting, and I've been working at it, it's difficult, is I try to pray before I look at my telephone.
Oh, that's a little bit exaggerated. I mean, you can't do a thing like that. Of course.
I do it. What are you talking about?
I'm just joking. Of course you have to do it. Of course. The telephone is what do we call it? It's almighty today. It's almighty. I go davening, I don't take my cellular phone with me. Because you just can't. There's interesting stuff going on. The whole world is turning over. But I'll tell you the truth. Today, before, the world is turning over. The fact that the world is turning over. And the Rebbe says clearly that this is all the time of the Mashiach, and we have to concentrate on doing good. We can't let the world affect us. We have to concentrate on doing good. That's what we have to concentrate on. Eventually, all the Jews are going to come to the land of Israel. Maybe everybody should. It's a good thing to come earlier. You can come earlier, right? But the main thing is we have to trust in Hashem. We have to do Torah. We have to learn mitzvahs. It could be also have to buy a gun. It could be, that's not no contradiction. You have to ask your rabbi wherever you are. But nevertheless, the gun is not our salvation. You have to, But nevertheless, we have to not worry. Worrying is the worst thing. Worrying is the worst thing. If buying a gun in your house shows that you're really worried, it's not a good thing to do. If you do it, keep it away, Keep it away from your kids, the fact that you're worried. Making people worry. Now it's coming out from this corona thing that they say that the suicide centers, hotlines, that there's 600% increase in people calling up that want to do suicide. And depression, people are buying this is just, it's the corona thing with all the riots and everything. To keep a good, that's what the Rebbe says, the first thing on the day has to be devoted to Hashem. If the first thing is devoted to Hashem, and that's the first thing in your soul, is devoted to Hashem. Like we learned, Sion b'mishpat teparev, so we're going to learn, we didn't learn yet in the Mimer about the importance of prayer. We do, and we'll see that that's what the main thing of a Jew is. To worry about the world and to politics and to this and to that, everybody can do that. Anyone can do that. And to get worried about the world and to be really involved in the world, a Jew definitely should not do that. Should not do it. It's just like Yosef, that he was in Egypt and he was the king of Egypt. All world. This is his brother. He was holding on to Hashem all the time. He says his brothers didn't recognize it. They didn't. How can a person be involved in the world like Yosef and make these split-second decisions all the time, and the world doesn't have any effect on him? How can it be? They couldn't figure. They had to be shepherds out in the desert, out in the like the spies, in order to be connected to Hashem. So now the Rebbe is saying we have to be like Yosef. We have to be like King David. We have to be in the world. We have to fight the battle. And the enemy is very cruel. And the enemy a lot of times is our cellular phone. And it's us. Right? It's our own Yetzer Hara. We create this monster, right? Which is called me. Me, and it becomes a false me. That's what we said. That it becomes enslaved. Enslaved. That's the tzion b'mishpat v'shaveh b'tzedakah. That's the v'shaveh b'tzedakah. Our own selves become enslaved. Oh, I gotta worry. I gotta look at the cellular. Everybody does. So now the Rebbe is saying, that was the argument between Korach and Moshe and Aaron. Korach said, let the world have its say. Let the world have its say. Let's be a little bit normal here. The Rebbe has another Sicha. How did Korach succeed in getting all the Jewish people to go against Moshe? Moshe had done such wonderful things to them. How did he get all the Jewish people? It says over there, the Kol Eidah. They all went against Moshe. How? So he said, the Rebbe says a very simple thing. I mean, this has to be a practical answer. It's not just, they weren't just staging it for the Bible. This is a real thing that happened. All the Jewish people. I mean, if those people went after Korach, for sure, we would go after someone like that. For sure. What's the question? Moses, well, look what Moshe did. He took them out of Egypt, gave them the Torah, amazing miracles, and nevertheless, they all went against him. What could be that motivation inside? What is that thing inside, that urge inside of every Jew to go against Moshe? What was so bad about Moshe? So the Rebbe explains like this. Korach said, Moshe, we needed you to leave Egypt. We needed you to receive the Torah. We needed you for leadership, right? You made us crazy. You made us go against our natures. No one would have left Egypt if it wasn't for you. No one would have received the Torah if it wasn't for you. But Moshe, listen, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but we already left Egypt and we already got the Torah. We changed our natures. We can trust ourselves now. You can't drive us crazy all the time, Moses. A new law, a new this, a new thing, let's move in the desert, let's go, let's get. Moshe, leave us alone. We're all holy. You can't force us to go against our human nature. What do you say, Jews? All the Jews said, he's right. We liked you, Moshe. We really needed you, but, and we'll treat you nice from now on. We'll give you a nice pension, and then we'll give you your honors. You'll make up maybe when we go into Israel, we'll make a statue of you. Who knows what we'll do? But enough. A Jew wants to be free. I'm going to be the boss. No one's going to tell me. And Moshe wants to drive everybody crazy. That's Moshe's thing. He wants to drive everybody. You have to do more. You have to do more. You have to do more. You have to always pushing everybody. You can't have in one moment. You always have to fight this battle. We have an enemy. We don't have any enemies. Moshe, we destroyed all the Egyptians. We're out in the desert. We're free. Your enemy is you. You have to do more. You have to learn more. You have to work more. That's the same thing as the Rebbe. He says, that's the battle. We have to battle. The first thing, where's the battle? The first thing in the morning. You wake up, you say, Modani, that's it. I said Modani, enough. Now I got to go to work. No, says the Rebbe, no. You have to pray. You have to daven. Okay, I'll pray at home.
I also have a practical question about praying and studying Torah. When we do the Shacharit liturgy, we're studying a lot of Torah, aren't we? Doesn't that count as studying Torah? I mean, specifically, you've got the Akedah.
You're right. It says that.
You got the Shema, you got the elements that are in the.
Yes. Most.
How can you do Shacharit without studying Torah? It's one and the same.
Good. Okay, listen. You're right. 100%. It says that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said that people should sit and learn Torah all day long, and if you can't, it's enough just Kriya Shema Shachris and Kriya Shema Erevis. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said. It's enough if a Jew can only say Shema Yisrael in the morning and the evening. That's enough.
Well, what if you're doing the entire Shacharit from soup to nuts?
Yeah. Doing the whole entire Shacharit, it's for sure it's good. Sure, it's good. But like it says in Yom Yom also, Hasameach bechelko baruchnius humida lo tova. A person that's happy with his lot. It says, we learned it in Pirkei Avos, Ezu asher hasameach bechelko. Who is happy? Someone who is satisfied with what he's got. So he said that only applies to physical things, material things. To be satisfied with your lot spiritually is very bad. So a person could say, listen, if you really can't do any more, then even if you don't daven the whole davening, you just say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and you take off, that's it. But you put on tefillin, say Shema Yisrael, you've done mitzvahs, you've learned Torah, step. But if you can do more, then you have to do more. And that they say there's a saying, a chassid is the person that doesn't fool himself. A chassid doesn't fool himself. That's the definition of a chassid. That's what my shpia told me. He took it from the middle Rebbe. A chassid is a person that doesn't fool himself. In other words, I can't do any more. It's impossible. Really, it's impossible? Then if it's impossible, then you can't. But it's really impossible? Well, it's hard. It's hard. Oh, hard is that's different. No one said life is going to be easy. It didn't have no, for sure Judaism not. There's no paper or something that says, you do mitzvahs, everything's going to be easy. No such thing. So you have to do a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah. Your main idea is, I'm serving Hashem, I believe in Hashem. Therefore, I'm doing more. Not just you have to force yourself to, you want to go to heaven or you don't want to go to hell. Something like that. That's also a motivation, but that's not what the Rebbe is talking about here. Here the Rebbe is talking about that we're fighting a battle. We're not just fighting against. We're fighting for. We're fighting for Hashem to be revealed in the world. We're fighting for good and love and meaning and blessing should be revealed in the world. That's what we're fighting for. Right? Fighting against is wonderful. That's like I don't even know if there are such people anymore, but there used to be the misnagdim. Their thing was to be against. We're going against the world, against this, against the devil, against the Yetzer Hara, against, how bad it is to do sins, how bad it is to think bad, how bad it is to this, Lashon Hara, and this and that, and bad and bad. What about the good? What's the good? No, we're fighting against the bad. We can't do. Okay, so Chassidut, always the emphasis was on the good. Of course, there were people that said you're only the good. You're not holding yourself back. Yeah, but if you really feel how good Hashem is, then you'll be motivated to serve Hashem. And part of serving Hashem is you got to fix yourself up. Right? You can't do the Tanya. What is it? Perek Mem base says even though doing good is wonderful, but the basis of Torah is you have to have fear of Hashem. Fear of doing the wrong thing. Fear. But why do you have this fear? Because you love Hashem so much. That's supposed to be the point. So right, you're right. What you say is right. When you daven in the morning, for sure, 100% you are learning Torah. But if you can do more, you should do more. Right?
Rabbi.
Yes.
With Steve Black here. Good morning.
Shalom.
Shalom Aleichem. I think it's more than do more. It's do more bihidur. I noticed Rabbi Pellman in Guatemala City, who you know.
Right,
and
right. Yeah, I remember now that I met you there. Now with your brother, you were with your brother, right?
You had met me long before also. You probably don't remember, and I'm not going to waste the time.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Go on.
But the bottom line was that any activity that he did that would be a repeat activity, even something like turning the chickens over your head,
Right.
better chickens every year. They were easier to deal with. They were more to help you. And that business of hidur, in other words, if we just think of the word more, well, okay, I'll say another verse.
I get it.
That's
Not only in quantity, but also in quality.
Amen.
Right? That's what you're saying. Good. 100%. Has to be deeper and has to be happier. Right? Very good. You have to try. You have to try. Listen, no one is telling you there's no mitzvah to succeed. The mitzvah is to try. Is to try. You have to do your best. Right? To put on tefillin, you have to try your best. That's the mitzvah. Right? To succeed is that's wonderful. That's wonderful. But your thing is you have to do what you can. And let the results leave your results up to Hashem.
I believe that if you try sincerely, honestly, you've already succeeded.
Good. Very good. Very good. Let's go. That's half of the thing. I mean, okay, let's go. I heard that story, that saying, there's no mitzvah to succeed. Okay, I mean, I have sort of reservations about that, but that's okay. I heard it in the name of Rabbi Berkey Chaim, who I really like. All right, ready? Let's go. Are we finished? So therefore, you have to be the best of the time, and you have to give the best of your energy to Hashem. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Good, we'll continue this one tomorrow. Good, so find base, and we'll continue this one tomorrow. It's now 9:30. God bless. Oh, story. Don't go away until